Hey Brandon, so I'm gonna tell these people about our little Instagram series we're gonna do weekly, and that's we're gonna be Watchmen for Israel, right? We're gonna talk about current, yeah, the little
Look at a shofar.
we're gonna talk about events that's happening in the Middle East. I'm not all into like Israel and political stuff, but this is the type of stuff we need to be watching, right? Middle East for the end times, right? So weekly we're gonna drop a video, and this week we're gonna discuss what?
We're going to discuss the Palestinians and their absolutely unwarranted hatred for Israel, right? Right now they're rejecting this peace plan that's been presented by Trump's administration. So there's a lot of news articles that you'll see over the past week and now where, just recently I saw a couple days ago where the Palestinians in like some sort of a little petty jab have disregarded the Oslo papers that they had signed with Israel because they really want them to know that they hate them and they're not going to join into any sort of covenant or agreement, right?
Yeah.
Really, the thing that we need to look at in the end times here is we need to look at Israel because that's where God is prophesied about what's going to take place, the events that are going to take place. So we should know what Scripture says, but we should also see what is actually going to unfold. And a part of that is that Israel is going to be delivered a victory by God at some point or another. Scripture talks about it in the Old Testament through Ezekiel, through Daniel as well, where Israel and their enemies are going to have kind of a skirmish in this position, and I think that this is going to be leading up to the 7-year covenant that's talked about. The way that we can look at this right now is that the Palestinians are disagreeing with this peace plan or this attempt at peace to come up with some sort of a compromise with Israel, and they're completely rejecting it, and they're instead of being involved in trying to come up with a reasonable solution, they are calling for violence against Israel. In more than a couple of different articles, I've seen them call out to attack the U.S. embassies, right, to go against Israel with whatever means necessary. So they don't want peace as an option. They just want the spoil of where Israel is living right now. You can look at the involvement with Turkey and the gas line that Israel is looking to kind of make an agreement on. So Israel's enemies have their eyes on the prize, the land of Israel, and we could even consider some of the oil that they're now exporting to like Egypt right now as part of that. But ultimately, the Palestinians want Israel to be destroyed and defeated. So I think if we're paying attention to the next little bit, they're going to have some sort of an uprising, and Palestine is going to come against Israel, and that's where we're going to see God step in, and he's going to deliver them that victory that's going to open up a position for Israel to feel peaceful because they can see God working for them, and they'll be able to initiate some sort of an agreement. Because if you pay attention, a lot of other sovereignties are joining in on this agreement while Palestine is out there pouting that they're not getting their way. So that's something to pay attention to, is many nations are in agreement with this peace plan that Trump has given, except for the Palestinians. And if Palestine were to be spanked, proverbially, by God and delivered a harsh loss, then that could submit them into entering into part of that agreement and saying, yeah, okay. And then when someone raises up in a couple of years, who would be the figure of the false prophet and the Antichrist, when they have the mentality that they're going to overthrow and bring peace and give what Palestine wants, a lot of this is just conjecture, but this is founded off what we see in Scripture, and obviously we have yet to see how this is going to unfold. But the fact that Palestine is so blatantly against this is something we should pay attention to, because this could create or be the catalyst that causes them to go against Israel, and that God will deliver them a victory. So I think that's kind of what we need to be looking at, and you can look at that in reference to Ezekiel